The reason I said tone things down a little bit is
Just because the crowd didn't really care once they figured out Triple H was going to win. But
the crowd was
I
on
thought
my
the action was good.
the crowd was on my side for this. They agreed with me that this match was just that they didn't really care.
Because it just felt like they were coasting until a Triple H victory, so to speak.
Yeah, everybody just kind of was like, you know what, we had our big, great match with The Undertaker there, so fuck it. You know, like, this is a lineup of what happened. HBK comes out, big pop. Lesnar comes out, pretty big pop. Triple H comes out.
Yeah, it's Triple H.
More people going. The hell's that on the ring? It looks like it's that thing he had before. Oh, okay.
Why the hell does he look like a half snowman?
Well, see that's the other thing I wanted to bring out. That's the other point I wanted to bring out was, people are supposed to be going nuts, being like, oh, Triple H, and all this, and people are confused about that, and eventually somebody just yells out. They're just like, all right, what the fuck does he have on his chest? And it was just like, that was the more distracting thing. People cared more about that, and they were like, does he have like tape on his chest, or did he like shit himself and that's like toilet paper? Like what?
Yeah. Props for him though for keeping his composure with having dry ice spread on him and just continuing to walk in with that evil stare based right at Brock Lesnar for the time that he did. And it was a long time until that camera cut away and he was able to brush that stuff off of him.
Why the hell was that thought of as a good idea to enhance the entrance? I thought something malfunctioned in that, like, the Triple H evil skull face thing, that like some dry ice shot out of it at him and he had to walk out with all that shit all over him.
How does that happen? I don't understand that.
It's malfunction.
Why was something shooting dry ice? Like, don't you just put dry ice in something?
I thought it was just CO2. I thought it was just like a CO2 fire extinguisher. Like you get the same sort of. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I just don't know how rubbing dry ice on yourself, you think that's a good idea to enhance an angle. Yeah.
Well, if it was dry ice, then it was probably set up by the same guy who burnt Undertaker at that one Elimination Chamber. Some fucking pyromaniac or whatever. He's just kind of like, let's see what I can get away with. He's the same guy who worked with Jeff Hardy.
Modest to the top. God, I hate that song.
But
I've got a chopstick.
Yeah, with the Triple H and Lesnar match, I'll give it credit. It was a little better than I thought it was going to be. But at the same time, I still don't think it was that great. It was, as we were talking about before the show started, it was better than their SummerSlam match. But really, they shouldn't have waited. They should have just had that match at SummerSlam, and we should have had something else this year for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Why should it have to be a SummerSlam? It's a WrestleMania quality match, and I think they really stepped up their game, especially compared to that SummerSlam match they had. It didn't fill the part, I think, of our extreme match of the night. It could have been an additional extreme match, but I feel like it never really took it to that highest level intensity.
No, that was my only gripe with it. It should have took it into real high gear where, they're beating the shit out of each other. They're using this, that, and the other, and they're having the crowd going, oh! You know what I mean? Like, after a while, tackling through a barricade. I'm sure Lesnar's strong enough to do that. I know he suplexed him through the announce table, or it looked like that at one point in the match. But I think I was expecting, maybe spine buster on the steps, or I think that actually happened though. But just some stuff to kick it up a notch. Like there were some decent spots, but there wasn't enough oomph to make it seem like the big ass final blow off.
Well, I actually didn't see the spot with the table. At the time, I was thinking that they were going to do something with the table, and then I looked away. And right when I looked away, that's when it happened. Ugh. I was just like, oh, shit.
But you did catch Brock Lesnar's crazy anger face after he did it.
Yeah, and to me, what actually
that was the most entertaining part of the match was Lesnar's crazy face.
Well, what actually ended up being the noise that he made, I never would have guessed that from watching it in the crowd.
I would have pictured be like, ah, not.
Yeah, I thought for sure that it was him going, ah, not squeaking like fucking Animal from the Muppets. That was fucking hilarious. But there were some good things in this match.
Lesnar landing on the back of his head after a clothesline over the barricade. That looked pretty vicious. Even if it wasn't intended.
Yeah, I still wasn't, the biggest fan of the match. I didn't hate it or anything like that. I don't know, you get that impression that I was sitting there, wanting
to. It was supposed to do. It sold Triple H as the guy that could lose everything, and it sold Lesnar as the big bad bully. It worked
Beast.
well. Yeah, it worked well. There was some great little quirkiness from Heyman and Shawn Michaels, especially the bit where Lesnar just like scares the shit out of Michaels and he drops to the floor and
how about Shawn actually taking a legitimate stiff shot from Brock, which is something Triple H did not do in either of the SummerSlam or this match.
So either way, it came off as a good match. Was it amazing? No. Was it good? Yeah, it was really good. But they could have probably easily topped it. I don't want to see these two wrestle again.
Oh, no.
And now that Triple H got his win back, keep them as far away as possible.
Yeah,
at this point. Thank you.
I'm thinking what we need to see right now, the next person that Brock Lesnar needs to fight, he either needs to fight Sheamus or Ryback. I doubt Ryback, though.
I would say Sheamus because Sheamus is built up as a brawler. And for whatever reason, my mind is just thinking that their styles will accentuate one another.
It'll work a lot better than Ryback, especially considering Ryback's stamina.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah.
And a lot of people were talking about Lesnar and Orton.
I think the Sheamus match has a hell of a lot more appeal than Lesnar versus Orton. That's the match you should do next for sure.
Well,
or rematch with Cena.
There's some unfinished business between Lesnar and The Miz that I think needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
You know what would be fucking hilarious if we see The Miz and Brock Lesnar and they have like that MMA match that Triple H had, and it's like Miz comes out there and he just like tackles Lesnar and is like beating the living shit out of him and all that. It ends up being like Miz's new gimmick is he's like a renewal of the whole Marvelous Marrow thing.
MMIz.
MMIz.
And then he'll go back to Wade Barrett and get his Intercontinental title back.
Then he could be the Ultimate Fighting Champion, the UFC.
Hell, or they could do something like that. Wade Barrett against Brock Lesnar.
Wade Barrett against MMIz.
Last thoughts before we move on to the Rock Cena.
Good match.
It was good. A hell of a lot better than the SummerSlam match, but it never really kicked into that, oh my god, epic brawl feeling that they probably should have capitalized on at such a big stage.
I know you said the crowd around you was pretty weak. The crowd around me was actually pretty into this match. I mean, maybe they were a little weakened out following the Undertaker CM Punk match towards the beginning. But after this match really picked up, you started seeing some of the things outside the ring and the involvement of Shawn Michaels and Paul Heyman. The crowd was pretty wild for this match. I think it was one of the better matches of the night. Is it some sort of,
I'd say it was
remembering
the
annals of WrestleMania history forever? I don't know. That remains to be seen. But it was a really good match.
Yeah, I would say it was the second best of the night, easily.
I like this match, but I think a lot of people are expecting more from Brock Lesnar. I mean, a lot of people are still remembering, his matches with Kurt Angle, his matches with The Rock, all his classic matches that he had.
I actually think they're expecting him to fight exactly like he did in the John Cena match. I think that's the character and the fighting style they expect to see.
That's what we're getting. That's what we're getting now. So people are going to be disappointed by that. But I think a lot of people were expecting them to have one of these, classic matches, 5-star quality matches. We're just not going to get that from these two guys at this stage in their career.
Yeah.
Well, one more thing. Was it just me or did Brock Lesnar look like he's been hitting the gym hard lately?
Dude,
holy shit, did he look jacked.
Dude,
like when he first came back, he had that that farm boy build-up where it was big, but it was just like one big chunk of meat. Now he looked like it was really defined and ripped. Like,
he looks chiseled like Rock now all of a sudden. Like, holy fuck.
All right, last part coming up. Rock and John Cena.